It's the 21st of February. Nice to meet you. I'm Zach. Yes, I am. I'm going to hit you with something today from our old friend, Epictetus.
Wow.
Thanks,
that could
mate.
have been the theme tune to a Naughty's Kid Show.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Pervert. Remember that it's not only the desire for wealth and position that debases and subjugates us, but also the desire for peace, leisure, travel and learning. It doesn't matter what the external thing is, the value we place on it subjugates us to another. Where our heart is set, there our impediment lies. Aren't you glad you didn't read that one?
I'm so grateful that you read that one. Some nice words in there.
Thank you.
I'll be reading with my 10-month-old later. So that makes me think about a little old phrase called "the grass is greener on the other side."
I've heard it.
And I think
Familiar.
most salespeople can probably relate to this. You're in a job. It probably isn't what you thought it would be. So you feel like there's something better out there, and you daydream about what that could be. But I think that you have to remember that if you're going to stay in sales, sales is going to be hard wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
There are companies that probably offer better culture and that you might be a better culture fit in. But if you think that moving to a new company where there's a promise of more money or an opportunity to do less grunt work, like I typically find that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So you just have to sit and qualify inbound leads all day. Well, what does that actually look like? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I think what we've done, almost starting off as freelance selling machines for different businesses, different hat every single day. Other people have tried that as their last ditch attempt at, well, maybe if I just was my own boss selling as a freelancer, this would solve the problem. They've tried it and gone, oh, no, it's not that.
No, I'm
It's
the
me.
problem.
I'm the problem.
Yeah.
What's the common denominator? If you're constantly in relationships that break down at the same kind of time for the same kind of reasons, what's the common denominator?
It's you.
If you're often working for businesses in leadership that fail, could it be the result of your leadership has made it fail?
Yeah.
And it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, isn't it? What did I do? But if you start to have those conversations with yourself, you end up arriving at things that you can actually change and are in your control, rather than looking always at external blame.
If you can have that kind of wake-up call and you go, actually, I'm not very nice to be around, or actually I'm too I'm rude at points, and you can just because I hate the whole I am the way I am. You know, like I always think of Gemma Collins saying that. Well, like if you don't love me like I am, just like whatever, I am that way. And it's like, well, yeah, but I think it's so arrogant to just be like, that's the way it is, and that's the way you have to accept it, because that's also not life. Like people change throughout life. Like we're actually, in terms of like cells, I think our skin cells change every 7 years. So the person that you were 10 years ago is completely different now, like physically and mentally. So to just say you have to accept me, if there's something that is having a knock-on effect to your exterior life, like just change it.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one, isn't it? And also we can look at this from another angle, can't we? What do you think the other angle is?
I think the other angle rhymed with Buddha.
Buddha? Tell me.
The Buddha?
The Buddha.
The Buddha.
Yes. So the Buddha had a belief that is true, it's tried, it's tested, it's so... Oh, it's like smelling fresh grass in the morning, isn't it?
Oopsie daisy.
It's attachment is the root of all misery. So having an attachment to the big goal, I'm going to hit the big goal, and my entire worth is wrapped around that. If that's then taken away from me and I lose that source of identity, that source of attachment, then what am I left with?
Yeah. You hear it a lot of the time that people spend decades climbing a mountain only to get to the top to realise they've been climbing the wrong mountain.
Wow. What do you mean?
So the attachment is the goal,
Right.
and the goal could be the Rolex or selling the business or achieving X. You spend all your life or a decade or some deep amount of time, and then you realise you're not happy anyway. That wasn't that wasn't the thing.
I was thinking of a physical mountain.
I thought you would have, like, for somebody that I would class as cleverish, I thought you would have got it from the mountain. But hey,
yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? And I think a lot of our self-worth tends to be attached to what we do, not who we are. So it might be the results. It might be I'm the guy who gets the deals and I'm the guy who hits target. I'm top biller. I'm President's Club. That's who I am. That's where my whole self-worth is tied to. But it's a slightly morbid topic, but often when people take their own lives, it's a loss of status.
Yeah.
But the status is, again, from that idea of attachment. I'm the sales director of the award-winning software company. Now I've just been made redundant and I'm not that anymore. There's often that hard dance between, oh, well, where is my worth? Who am I now? Because you're attached to what you do, not who you are.
You know, I spent some time with the monks in the monastery.
Mm-hmm.
I learned some brilliant things that they don't use money, okay, because there's no attachment to money, because they're trying to, like you say, play the status game. They're trying to remove that. But one of the guys I was chatting with, he was like very honest about it, but he said what you tend to find is new monks that come in is they start to find an attachment to the bowl. So they have little possessions, but like their robe or the bowl that they have, they go, oh, I'm attached to this and it's quite important to me. And actually, why has he got a bigger bowl than me? And why is his bowl cleaner? Or why does he have fancy buttons on his robe? And as human beings, we are naturally just attached, and it's about removing that attachment to be at peace with oneself.
Beautiful.
I've been Jack Frimston.
I've been Zach Thompson.
Remember, you will die.
Get out of my classroom, you swine.